Welcome, listeners, to the Monthly Show about the scary, the spooky, and the supernatural. Get ready for the latest Pods of Horror.
Welcome to 13 Pods of Horror. I'm your host, Troy, and on this All Hallows Eve, October 31st, we're diving into the dark and fascinating world of Halloween. From its ancient origins to its modern-day celebrations, we'll be exploring the many facets of this haunted holiday. Over this episode, we'll unravel the mysteries of Samhain, the Celtic festival that started it all. We'll take a journey through the evolution of Halloween costumes, from spirit-warding disguises to elaborate cosplay creations. And we'll examine the history of trick-or-treating from its roots in medieval souling to its modern-day popularity, as well as some of the infamous symbols of the seasons and the overall impact on modern day. So grab a flashlight, settle in, and get ready to scream, because it's time to dive into the horror and magic of Halloween. Ancient origins. Samhain is an ancient Celtic festival marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, or the dark half of the year. It was celebrated on November 1st in what is now the United Kingdom, Ireland, and northern France. The Celts believed that on Samhain, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred, and the spirits of the dead could return to Earth. Samhain is considered a time of great supernatural power, when divination and magic were possible. The Celtics honored their ancestors and the spirits of the dead. Some of the traditions associated with Samhain include bonfires that were lit to ward off spirits, guide spirits of the dead, and symbolize purification and protection. People wore costumes and masks to disguise themselves from maleficent spirits or to mimic the spirits. Food and drink were left outside villages and fields for the spirits of the dead. Samhain was considered a potent time of divination, tarot readings, and scurrying, which is an ancient practice that involves gazing into a reflective surface, such as a crystal ball, to gain insight, guidance, or information on the future. Samhain was a significant influence on modern Halloween celebrations, with many of its traditions and symbols being incorporated into the holiday. The festival's emphasis on the supernatural, divination, and connection between the living and the dead continues to captivate people around the world. Today, Samhain is still celebrated by modern pagans, Wiccans, and individuals who seek to connect with the Celtic heritage. Modern celebrations often include rituals and ceremonies that are performed to honor the ancestors, the spirits of the dead, and the cycle of life and death. Ancestors are honored with offerings of food, drink, and other items. Samhain is considered a time of introspection, reflection, and divination. Overall, Samhain is a fascinating and complex festival that offers insight to the spiritual practices and traditions of the ancient Celtics. Its influence can still be seen in modern Halloween celebrations, and its themes of morality, the supernatural, and the cycle of life and death continue to captivate people around the world. Evolution of traditions. A huge portion of most Halloween's related history is at its core the involvement of costuming. The evolution of costumes, from spirit-warding disguises to modern-day cosplay, is a fascinating journey that spans thousands of years. In ancient cultures, people wore costumes and masks to ward off spirits, ghosts, and supernatural beings. These early costumes were often made from animal hides, masks, and other natural materials. The Celtics, for example, wore costumes and masks during Samhain to disguise themselves from malevolent spirits. During the Middle Ages, costumes were often used to signify social status. The wealthy and powerful wore elaborate and expensive clothing, while the poor wore simple and plain attire. Theatrical performances, such as plays and masquerades, also featured elaborate costumes. In the 19th and early 20th century, masquerade balls and costume parties became popular among the upper class. These events featured elaborate costumes, masks, and wigs. The tradition of wearing costumes and parties in social gatherings continues to evolve. In the mid-20th century saw the rise of superheroes in science fiction and popular culture. Costumes became more elaborate and fantastical. With the introduction of superheroes like Superman and Batman, fans began to create their own costumes inspired by their favorite characters. Halloween costumes have become a staple of modern celebration, but their origins and influences are rooted in diverse cultural traditions. Let's take a look at how different cultures have shaped Halloween costumes. As previously mentioned, the ancient Celtics wore costumes to ward off evil spirits during Samhain, the festival that marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. This tradition has influenced the modern practice of dressing up in costumes on Halloween. In Japan, Halloween has become a popular celebration with elaborate costumes and street parties. Japanese cosplay culture is heavily influenced Halloween costumes, with many people dressing up as their favorite anime or manga characters. Actually, in many Asian cultures, including Japan, South Korea, and China, cosplays became a significant part of Halloween celebrations, with people creating elaborate costumes and accessories. In Latin America, Halloween coincides with the Day of the Dead celebrations, where people honor the deceased loved ones with colorful altars, decorations, and traditional foods. The vibrant colors and festive atmosphere of these celebrations have inspired many Halloween costumes. In Haiti, the Fête Ged festival is celebrated around the same time as Halloween, honoring the spirits of the dead. Colorful costumes and masks worn during this festival have influenced Halloween celebrations worldwide. In Mexico, colorful sugar skulls are a traditional symbol of the Day of the Dead and have been incorporated into Halloween celebrations. In Italy and Spain, Halloween is celebrated with a mix of Catholic traditions and modern influences. People often dress up in costumes and participate in festivals, while also honoring their deceased loved ones. Going beyond the realm of Halloween in the 1980s and 90s saw an emergence of cosplay as a distinct subculture. Cosplayers created elaborate costumes and wigs to portray their favorite characters from anime, manga, and science fiction. The rise of the internet and social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube has further fueled the growth of cosplay. Today, cosplay is a global phenomenon, with millions of people creating and wearing elaborate costumes to represent their favorite characters. The evolution of costumes from spirit-warding disguises to modern-day cosplay is a testament to human creativity and the desire of self-expression. Whether it's to ward off spirits or to embody a favorite character, costumes continue to play a significant role in human culture and identity. Halloween costumes have evolved over time, influenced by the diverse culture traditions and modern commercialization. From the ancient Celtic rituals to modern cosplay, the art of dressing up has become an integral part of Halloween celebrations worldwide. With that, we directly go into the history of trick-or-treating, which is a fascinating topic that spans centuries. Let's dive into this evolution over time. The tradition of trick-or-treating has its roots in medieval Europe, particularly in the British Isles. During the festive of All Souls' Day, poor people would go door to door asking for food and other treats in exchange for praying for the dead. This practice is known as souling. In Scotland and Ireland, children would disguise themselves in costumes and visit their neighbors, sing songs, tell stories, and perform tricks in exchange for food, nuts, and other treats. This was also known as guising or mumming. As European immigrants came to the United States, they brought the traditions with them. The practice of souling and guising evolved into trick-or-treating, with children dressing up in costumes and going door to door asking for candy, fruits, and other treats. After World War II, trick-or-treating became a popular activity in suburban America. The rise of suburbanization and the growth of the middle class led to an increase of trick-or-treating, with children going door to door in their neighborhoods. In the 1970s and 1980s saw a significant increase in the commercialization of Halloween, with the production of mass-produced costumes, decoration, and candy. However, concerns about safety and tampering led to increased scrutiny of trick-or-treating. Today, trick-or-treating remains a popular activity worldwide, and many communities organize trick-or-treat events and parties. Today, trick-or-treating remains a popular activity worldwide, with many communities organizing trick-or-treat events and parties. Modern concerns about safety have led to an increase of supervision and guidelines for trick-or-treating. The history itself of trick-or-treating is a rich and complex one, shaped by culture, social, and economic factors. From its origins in medieval Europe to its modern-day adaptations, trick-or-treating remains a beloved tradition for many people around the world. Besides the activity of costuming and trick-or-treating, Halloween is celebrated differently around the world, with various cultures incorporating its own unique traditions and customs. Let's explore some fascinating examples. Mexico and Latin America has Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. This celebration honors deceased loved ones with altars, offerings, and festivities. Pan de Muertos, tamales, and other traditional dishes are prepared to honor the dead. Colorful skeletons, skulls, and papier-mâché figures are used to decorate homes and altars. Japan has Obon Festival. Obon is a Buddhist holiday that honors the spirits of one's ancestors. Lanterns are lit, and drums are played to guide the spirits back to their resting places. Odori dance is performed to honor the ancestors. Ireland has Samhain celebrations. As previously mentioned, Halloween originated from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which marks the end of the harvest season. Bonfires are lit to ward off spirits and to guide the souls of the dead. Soul cakes, calconen, and other traditional dishes are prepared to celebrate the occasion. Scotland has guising and souling. Children dress up in costumes and go door to door, singing songs and telling stories in exchange for treats and other aspects of modern-day trick-or-treating. Soul cakes are traditionally treats that are given to children and the poor. China has Hungry Ghost Festival. This festival honors the spirits of the dead, who are believed to roam the earth during the 7 lunar months. Food, incense, and paper offerings are made to appease the spirits. Traditional Chinese opera and other performances are held to entertain the spirits. India has Pitru Paksa. This Hindu festival honors the ancestors and the deceased with offerings of food, water, and prayers. Rituals are performed to ensure the safe passage of the deceased to the afterlife. These examples demonstrate a diversity of richness and cultural traditions surrounding the supernatural, the dead, and the afterlife. Each culture has its unique way of honoring and celebrating these themes. Halloween symbols. While the idea of Halloween can conjure up several symbols and imagery, such as black cats, bats, spiders in their webs, dancing skeletons, or witches on broomsticks over a full moon, however, none is more iconic than the jack-o'-lantern, a carved pumpkin with a glowing face. The Celtics used carved turnips to ward off spirits, which later evolved into the jack-o'-lanterns we know today, making it the modern symbol of Halloween. Whereas the pumpkin itself represents autumn, the carved face definitely signals the Halloween spirit. But have you ever wondered where this tradition's names originated? The jack-o'-lantern is rooted in Irish folklore, specifically the legend of Stingy Jack, which tells the story of a cunning and deceitful man named Jack, who outsmarted the devil not once but twice. Stingy Jack, a notorious trickster, tricked the devil into agreeing not to take his soul by convincing him to turn himself into a coin to pay for a drink. Jack then trapped the devil by placing the coin in his pocket next to a crucifix. The devil was forced to agree to spare Jack's soul for 10 years. When the devil came to claim Jack's soul again, Jack tricked him once more by convincing him to climb an apple tree, where Jack carved a cross, trapping the devil again. After Jack's death, he was denied both entry into heaven and hell. The devil, true to his word, refused to take Jack's soul, and God did not want him in heaven due to his sinful life. The devil gave Jack a burning ember to light his way, which Jack placed into a carved-out turnip, creating the first jack-o'-lantern. The legend of Stingy Jack has become an integral part of Halloween traditions, symbolizing the spooky and supernatural themes of the holiday. The jack-o'-lantern, originally made of turnips, was later carved from pumpkins in America, becoming a popular Halloween decoration. When Irish immigrants came to North America, having formerly used hollowed-out turnips, rutabagas, or other root vegetables to carve the faces or symbols into them, they found that pumpkins were a more abundant and easier to carve than their previously stated vegetation. The pumpkin's soft, fleshy interior made an ideal canvas for carving, and its size and shape allowed for more elaborate designs. Over the time, the jack-o'-lantern has evolved to become a Halloween tradition. Today, people around the world carve intricate designs and patterns into pumpkins, often displaying them on porches, in windows, or at Halloween parties. The jack-o'-lantern has become the symbol of Halloween, represented by spooky and supernatural themes through the holidays. It has also served as a reminder of ancient traditions and folklore that have shaped our modern celebrations. Modern celebrations and cultural influences. The impact of commercialization on Halloween celebrations is multifaceted, transforming a once community-centered holiday into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Its commercialization has both positive and negative effects. Halloween has become a significant contributor to the economy, generating over $10 billion annually revenue in the United States alone. Commercialization has led to a wide range of creative and innovative products, from costumes and decorations to haunted houses and themed events. Commercialization Halloween celebrations have become a way for communities to come together, fostering social connections and a sense of belonging. However, the commercialization of Halloween has led to a decline in traditional practices and cultural significance, replaced by consumerist values. The pressure to buy expensive costumes, decorations, and party supplies can only lead to financial stress and anxiety. The dominance of commercialized Halloween products and events can result in a homogenization of celebration, stifling individual creativity and cultural diversity. However, incorporating DIY and homemade elements into Halloween celebrations can help maintain a sense of authenticity and creativity, as well as prioritizing community and traditional aspects of Halloween, such as storytelling and cultural heritage, can help counterbalance the commercialization. Ultimately, finding a balance between enjoying the commercial aspects of Halloween and preserving its cultural significance and tradition values is key to a fulfilling celebration. The wrap-up. As we conclude our exploration of the history and traditions of Halloween, it's clear that this holiday has evolved significantly over time, influenced by various cultures and societal factors. Halloween's origins in ancient festivities and traditions have given way to modern celebrations that is both spooky and festive. From its roots in Samhain and the Catholic Church's influences to its commercialization and globalization, Halloween has adapted to the changing times. Despite the changes, Halloween remains a holiday that brings people together, fostering a sense of community and shared experience. The tradition and customs associated with Halloween, such as trick-or-treating, costume parties, and haunted houses, continue to captivate and entertain. Halloween's enduring appeal lies in its ability to tap into the fascination with the unknown, the supernatural, and the thrill of being scared in a safe environment. It is a time when we can confront and overcome our fears, if only for a night. Halloween also serves as a reflection of our culture and society, revealing our values, anxieties, and desires. As we continue to evolve and grow, our celebrations of Halloween will undoubtedly change, incorporating new traditions and customs. Ultimately, the spirit of Halloween is about embracing the magic and mystery of the unknown, finding joy in the thrill of the season, and connecting with others in the process. As we bid farewell to this Halloween season, let's carry the spirit of celebration, community, and imagination with us throughout the year. You have just been listening to 13 Pods of Horror, a Planet Geek production. Please be sure to download, subscribe, share, rate, and review. You can buy us a coffee by going to ko-fi.com/igeekpod. On different social medias, you can search for either Planet Geek Productions or Planet Geek Pod. You can also reach out to us via email at planetgeekpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. See you next time.